Barrier. Do you keep learning English but forget everything 2 days later? Then stop blaming your memory. Start training your brain the way polyglots do.
Ever feel like your brain just freezes when you try to speak English? It's not you, it's your habits. Today, we're recounting down the 10 most common habits that trick your brain into freezing, and I'll show you exactly how to turn each one into a brain-friendly pattern that unlocks fluency. Let's start with number 10, cramming information with zero sleep. We've all done it, staying up until 2 in the morning, memorizing endless vocabulary lists. But here's the reality. By the time you have breakfast, your brain has already forgotten half of it. Why? Because sleep is when your brain actually consolidates memories and builds strong connections. Without it, you're just pouring water into a leaky bucket. So here's the brain-friendly fix. Study in short, focused bursts, and then rest. Seriously, even a 20-minute power nap after a study session can build stronger, more permanent language connections than 3 exhausting hours of mindless repetition. Work smart, not just hard. Your brain will thank you for it. Coming in at number 9 is a habit that feels productive, but is actually a major roadblock, translating every single word from your native language. When you do this, you're forcing your brain to work twice as hard. It has to decode the idea in your language, translate it word for word, and then try to assemble it in English. This creates a slow, clunky process that wastes mental energy and space. The brain-friendly fix is to build direct associations. Start simple. As you go about your day, label the objects around you in English. Don't think this is a taza. Just see it. And say, cup, see the door. And say, door, see the window, and say, window. This simple practice trains your brain to connect the English word directly to the object or concept, skipping the translation step entirely. You'll start thinking in English without even realizing it. Number 8 is a huge one, the fear of making mistakes. So many learners program their brains to wait for perfect grammar and pronunciation before they even dare to speak. This creates a paralyzing fear loop. When you're scared, your brain's threat response kicks in, which actually blocks your ability to retrieve the vocabulary you already know. You have the words, but fear is locking the door. Here's how to fix it. Embrace your mistakes as valuable data. They aren't failures, they're feedback. A powerful exercise is to record yourself speaking for just 1 minute every day. Just talk about anything your day, a movie, your breakfast. Then listen back. The goal isn't to cringe at every error, but to notice your progress over time. Focus on what you did well and identify one small thing to improve. This shifts your mindset from perfection to progress, and that's the key to unlocking confident speech. At number 7, we have overloading on grammar rules. Your brain loves patterns, but it gets overwhelmed by dense paragraphs of abstract theory. When you try to remember dozens of complex rules while constructing a sentence, you create a mental traffic jam. Your mind gets so busy checking boxes that the natural flow of conversation comes to a grinding halt. The brain-friendly fix is to learn structure through real examples and patterns. Instead of memorizing the definition of present perfect, actively use it. Say the phrase, "I have already eaten," and then create 10 different variations. I have already seen that movie. She has already finished her work. Imagine real situations where you would use these sentences. By learning grammar in context, you internalize the patterns naturally, just like you did with your first language. Next up, at number 6, is studying without emotion. When you learn new words as flat, boring facts from a list, they create flat, forgettable memories. Our brains are wired to remember experiences, especially those tied to feelings. Emotion acts like a superglue for memory, making information stick. So, the fix is to attach emotion to your new vocabulary. When you learn the word exhausted, don't just memorize the definition. Close your eyes and picture yourself after a grueling workout at the gym. The sweat, the heavy breathing, that feeling of total depletion. When you learn peaceful, imagine a beautiful sunset over a quiet lake. By connecting words to vivid feelings and images, you're not just learning a word. You're creating a rich, memorable experience that your brain can easily recall later. Sliding into the number 5 spot is ignoring body movement. A sitting brain can quickly become a sleepy, passive brain. When you're slumped in a chair for hours, blood flow and oxygen to your brain decrease, which directly impacts your alertness and ability to learn. We often separate mind and body, but they are deeply connected. The brain-friendly solution is simple: get moving. Study while walking around your room. Use hand gestures as you repeat phrases and practice conversations. Act out the words you're learning. This physical rhythm does wonders for stimulating active recall. It wakes up your brain, boosts oxygen levels, and helps embed the language into your muscle memory. A little movement can make a huge difference in how actively your brain engages with the material. At number 4, we find a habit many people think is productive: passive input only. This means just watching English TV shows, listening to podcasts, or having music on in the background. While input is essential, if that's all you do, your brain often labels it as entertainment, not active learning. You might understand a lot, but your speaking skills won't improve because you're not training the output muscle. Here's the fix that will multiply your learning speed. Follow the 3-2-1 rule. For every 3 minutes of passive input, spend 1 minute on active output. It's easy. Pause the show and summarize what just happened out loud. Mimic the accent of a character you just heard. Pretend you're explaining the podcast topic to a friend. This simple habit of active recall forces your brain to switch from receiving information to producing it, which is the fastest way to build fluency. Now for our top 3. Coming in at number 3 is a destructive habit: comparing yourself to native speakers. When you hold your speaking ability up against someone who has been using the language their entire life, you're setting an impossible standard. This triggers your brain's threat system, releasing stress hormones that shut down the learning centers of your brain. It's the complete opposite of a healthy learning environment. The brain-friendly fix is to shift your focus inward. The only comparison that matters is you yesterday versus you today. A great way to do this is to keep a before and after voice memo. Record yourself speaking on the 1st of every month. After a few months, listen back to your old recordings. You will be amazed at your own progress. These tiny, personal victories release dopamine, the motivation molecule, creating a positive feedback loop that makes you excited to keep learning. The second biggest brain-friendly habit, at number 2, is ignoring context and culture. When you just memorize vocabulary lists, the words are dead. Cheers isn't just a word, it's the atmosphere of a British pub. Barbecue isn't just food, it's a whole social event in America. Without this cultural flavor, you lose the deeper meaning, and the words are harder for your brain to store. So, how do you fix this? Learn language through living things, stories, movie scenes, song lyrics, restaurant menus, and vlogs about daily life. Your brain's hippocampus, the memory center, is designed to store rich multisensory scenes far more easily than a sterile list of words. Immerse yourself in the culture, and the language will come to life, making it not only easier to remember, but also more meaningful to use. And finally, the number 1 brain-friendly habit that blocks fluent English is studying without a routine. Random, sporadic effort is one of the least effective ways to learn anything. It's like trying to build a wall by placing one brick every few weeks. For your brain, it feels like constantly rebooting a computer. You never build any momentum. Fluency is built on rhythm and consistency, not on occasional bursts of intense effort. The brain-friendly fix is to create a small, consistent ritual. It doesn't have to be long. Maybe it's 15 minutes every morning with your coffee. Pick the same time, the same place, maybe even the same study playlist. This ritual signals to your brain that it's time to switch gears. Within just 2 weeks of consistency, your brain will start to anticipate this moment, automatically entering English mode without any friction. This routine makes learning feel effortless and builds the powerful automatic habit that leads to true fluency. So, there you have it. The 10 habits holding you back and 10 simple fixes to turn your brain into a language learning machine. It's all about working with your brain, not against it. Which of these habits are you going to change first? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching today. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more tips on how to learn smarter. See you in the next one. Let's recap in one breath. Stop cramming and start resting. Don't just translate. Actually experience the English language. Treat your mistakes like a workout for your brain, not as failures. Turn complex grammar rules into simple, repeatable patterns. Remember to add emotion, movement, and context to what you learn. Compete only with the person you were yesterday, and most importantly, build a routine that your brain can happily dance to. See, Wind isn't lazy, it just needs friendlier instructions. If this video helped you breathe a little easier about learning English, please share it with another learner who might be stressing over perfection. Subscribe for weekly brain-friendly lessons on speaking naturally, remembering faster, and actually enjoying the language instead of fighting it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.